Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. Cumberland Outdoorsman here at my shooting range on an absolutely glorious spring day. Yesterday we had some high winds blow through here from a storm that came through last Friday, so it really wasn't suitable to come out here and shoot a video. So I thought I'd wait until today to come out here and see what I can come up with for your entertainment. I was shooting a Remington Model 511 trying to find some good ammunition that it actually preferred, and I'm starting to narrow that search down some. But then again I thought, let's make a video of the 22 that I actually consider my favorite of all time, and that's the Remington Model 581. Now, you've heard me talk about these little rifles before in the past, and I've got several in my collection. This one here is a first-year production. This is the most recent one that I've gotten, and it came with a gorgeous American black walnut stock. I've showed you this gun before, but I was out here test firing it and another one with some Ely ammunition that I've got here. This is the regular target grade ammunition, and it seems to me that once you got a clean barrel with these old guns and you get them leaded in for that particular type of ammunition, there's not much that these Remington 580 or 540 series rifles don't shoot quite well. And I'll tell you what, they're just amazing little rifles, and in my opinion they were way ahead of their time back when they came out. They have a very sophisticated locking system. I'll go ahead and pull this bolt out, and if you own one of these and you're wondering how to get the bolt out, you just push forward on the safety and the bolt slides right out. So anyway, let's take a close look at this bolt. What you've got are 6 locking lugs that lock into the mortises inside of a massive steel receiver here. Right here. Very well made. So the lockup is probably the strongest and the tightest of any 22 rifle ever made. I'm kind of going out on the limb here, but I haven't seen any other 22s that actually have this kind of design. I've got a Winchester Model 52, and I used to have a CZ Model 452, and even they don't have as sophisticated of a locking system as the Remington 580 and 540 series rifles. The head of the bolt here is independent, so it actually rotates on the main body of the bolt. The firing pin is right on top there, and the cocking mechanism is right here below. So as you raise the bolt up after a shot's fired, that's what actually cocks the firing pin. And the sear is right here that engages with the sear in the trigger mechanism. And the trigger mechanism is very much like that of the Remington Model 700 and the Model 788, which are really good trigger mechanisms, if they're kept clean and in good functioning order. So, the safety is right on the side. It has a very, very fast lock time, probably the fastest lock time of any 22 rimfire or any other rimfire for that fact. And that probably contributes to the accuracy of these guns. These are amazingly accurate little rifles, and that's one of the reasons that I choose the Remington Model 581 as the basic rifle, the platform to test a lot of different types of ammunition, and you're about to see why, folks. So let's go and do some shooting at 25 and at 50 yards with a few various brands of ammunition, and we'll talk about the final results once I get finished doing that. So here we go. Well, folks, after watching those groups being shot at both 25 and at 50 yards, I think if you're a 22 enthusiast, you can well agree with me that they're some pretty impressive groups. Here I've got the target, and the first 25-yard group here I shot using this Ely target ammunition. This is what I really wanted to try out in my 581 today. And I've got one that's just slightly outside of the group, but all the others went through the same hole right there, right at the bullseye. So good ammunition still. And then the second group right here was shot using this SK Standard Plus. Now this is made in Germany by Lapua. Really good ammunition. It's not available as readily everywhere, but if you run across some of this, give it a try. I think you'll be impressed. But I think you can see that I think all the bullet holes are pretty well touching, clustered into one ragged hole right there. And then the third 25-yard group I shot using CCI standard velocity, which is still not bad. Not quite as good as the other two, but not bad at all. You know, 25 yards is a good, decent range for small game hunting, whether you're rabbit hunting or squirrel hunting or whatever, and that's a headshot on a squirrel every time, folks, every time. Even out to 50 yards, I think that ammunition will do quite well. And they make a hollow point version for that. It's a subsonic hollow point made by CCI that shoots probably a little bit better out of most of my rifles than the regular standard velocity. Now the 50-yard groups impressed me the most, and all of these were shot using the Ely target ammunition. The first one here being the most impressive. As you can see, all the bullet holes are clustered very tightly together and can easily be covered with a penny. Then the second group here opened up just slightly, and still they can easily be covered with a penny, as you can see. And then the third group, I had one flyer right there. And that inevitably always happens whenever I'm testing groups. For some reason, you always get a flyer, you know, no matter what you're trying out. I was doing really well, and then got four bullet holes right there together, all of them touching right there, and then one flyer. But, you know, that happens quite often, as you'll see if you get out and you test your 22s. And that is why the Model 581 is the test platform that I like to use the most, because as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's probably the strongest lockup system of any rimfire bolt action that was ever made, or any rimfire at all. It's just a very impressive system that they had, and in my opinion they were way ahead of their time when they came out with these little rifles in the engineering department, because the bolt is very sophisticated. It only has a 60-degree throw as far as opening the bolt, 60 degrees, and the bolt operates very smoothly. The lock time is, in my opinion, the fastest of any 22 ever made, and the safety is right there where you need it, you know, very handy. So for a hunting rifle, it's ideally suited. This one here I got at a gun show several years ago that had been abused pretty badly by the previous owner. So I ordered another stock. I got a blank walnut stock, and I finished it myself, shaped it and finished it and everything. I added a rosewood grip cap and fore-end tip. This is real rosewood, folks. I got this from Brownells. And I checkered all four panels with just a standard pattern checkering. It's got a true oil finish. And then all of the metal parts were polished down and professionally re-blued, hot blued. And the scope that's on top of it is held on by vintage Burris steel mounts. And the scope itself is a Bausch & Lomb Balvar 2.5 by 8 variable scope, and has very, very fine crosshairs. You know, that really helps me zero in on exactly what I'm aiming at. Good clear optics on a very, very well made rifle. And Well guys, I started my channel featuring the Remington Model 581 in my first hunting video where I went on an afternoon squirrel hunt. And I gotta say that from the very first one that I've ever owned, which I still have in my collection, these have been absolutely wonderful rifles, and it's too bad that they're no longer in production. These are guns of the past, they're no longer being made. And to be honest with you, I don't know if they can incorporate the same technology anymore that's as advanced as the Remington 580 or 540 series rifles. The lockup system, the cocking system, the trigger system, all that, and still make it an economical rifle, or fairly affordable, so to speak. I'm not sure if they can even do that anymore. But if you run across one that's in good shape, every now and then you'll see one at a gun show or maybe a pawn shop or even a yard sale somewhere, or someone selling one, I would recommend to get one, if you're a 22 enthusiast and you haven't discovered all the attributes of the Remington 580 or 540 series rifles. Now let me warn you, the prices have gone up considerably in the last few years because more and more people have discovered just how good these little guns are. And if you own one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're just good, accurate, dependable rifles. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video. And thank you for coming along. I do appreciate it very much. And remember, if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever your outdoor pursuit might happen to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And until next time, y'all get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. And if you go shooting, have a lot of fun. Just make sure you do it safely. This is a Cumberland Outdoorsman wishing you the best. Y'all take care, my friends.